Hi everyone, it's Abhinav from PhoneBunch and here's our first look at the Xolo One HD, a new budget smartphone from the company. Now many of you guys have been asking us to review this phone for quite some time, so we finally got it. It's available from Amazon.in for ₹4777. It runs on the 1.3 GHz quad-core MediaTek MT6580M with Mali 400MP2 GPU. You have 1GB of RAM, 8GB ROM, 8MP autofocus rear camera and a 5MP front camera with LED flash. We'll talk about the rest of the specs as we go along. Inside the box you have the phone itself. You also get a free screen guard, a micro USB to USB data syncing and charging cable, a headset too, an in-ear headset no less. And you have a 1A USB wall charger right there too. Apart from that, you have the 2300 mAh battery, which is removable, and you also have some light reading, some documentation if you want to go through it. Now let's have a look at the Xolo One HD itself. The phone does feel quite good to hold in the hand. The back is not that slippery. It seems to be pretty solidly built. Now there are bezels surrounding the display, even though the promotional materials don't show that most of the time. Let's have a look at the build. So on the right you have the power lock and unlock button as well as the volume rocker. Both have decent feedback. Not that great at travel but still decent. At the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack, on the left there's nothing. And the sides are rounded on the device, so the phone does feel good to hold. At the bottom you have the micro USB port. Moving to the back, you will see the 8MP camera with BSI sensor. You have the LED flash right there, and at the bottom the single speaker, which actually is quite loud. Now there's not much flex in the backer. We'll check after putting in the battery again. On the inside you will see that you have two single SIM card slots, both are micro, and you have a micro SD card slot as well. Let's put in the 2300 mAh battery and we'll power on the phone for the very first time. Overall, the build seems to be pretty decent on the device. It doesn't feel cheap, it feels quite good to hold. So the phone is now booted up. In the front you will see an LED flash. You also have that 5MP camera along with the main earpiece and proximity and light sensors. And you have on-screen buttons this time around on the Xolo One HD. The display here is just about decent. It is an HD IPS panel, but I can still see a bit of color distortion. And the viewing angles are just about alright. I can see a bit of brightness shifting here as well. If we talk about the camera, you have an 8MP rear unit and there is visible shutter lag. It might just be the app that's causing it, because after testing the phone for about a day, the images actually did turn out quite in focus. The front facing camera again is just about decent. Even though it's a 5MP unit, images did turn out quite grainy. Now if you look at these macro shots and these distant shots as well, color reproduction is quite alright, but the camera isn't able to adjust exposure that well. Overall, color reproduction is slightly towards the warmer side, but we will be testing out the camera in greater detail as we move along. In first impressions, it is a pretty decent camera. You have to factor in the price. But if we come to the front facing flash, don't get scared by this. It is absolutely useless. It's just a gimmick, no use whatsoever. Which now brings us to software. So the software experience is actually pretty decent. There was no lag in the time that I spent with the device. There are a few useless apps that have come pre-installed, but thankfully you can uninstall most of them. And if not, you can disable those as well. Now, like most of the Xolo smartphones apart from its Black series, the Android experience is pretty stock here. You have Android 5.1 Lollipop running the show, and this is what it's going to stay at. I don't think it's going to be upgraded anytime soon. You'll get about 4.6 to 4.8 gigs of storage available on the device, and USB OTG is not supported. You can expand storage however. After the first boot, we had more than 600 odd MB of RAM free, which is pretty decent. Now if we come to browsing performance, we tried opening several websites. There were no compatibility issues again, we were using Chrome, and overall the web browsing experience was pretty smooth. Apps do take slightly longer to load. It is a pretty old processor. It's a Cortex A7 based processor, so we are looking at somewhere 2013-2014. But this is a budget device and it's a 3G dual SIM smartphone. decent build quality and probably decent battery life as well. We'll talk about that later in our full review. But the question arises here is whether 3G smartphones still have a place, and below Rs 5000 there aren't really that great smartphones available. So does the Xolo One HD fill that void? We'll have to see. Do chime in with your thoughts as well. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, let us in the comment section. Links to buy this will be in description, and as always, have a great day.